Howdy guys, I'm Jeepin' Jason, and today I have a really fun product feature and upgrade to the Jeep. I threw a set of Baja Designs LP4 lights on the A-pillar here. Now, I did that instead of going with a light bar on this Jeep. Now, I've got nothing against light bars. I actually really like them. They look fantastic on Jeeps. But if you've been on this channel at all, you know that every single upgrade on this thing, I overthink it all. Everything is built and tailored towards what I feel is going to be the most practical for what I do. Now, this Jeep is a city Jeep mostly. Like this year, I'm going to try to strive to get in the dirt much more, like we all do. But this thing has to commute. And lately, if you guys have been around at all, I've been trying to do a bunch of background acting. So that's my new one of my jobs now. And so that requires me going down to studio lots and parking in parking structures. And I think about that as a city Jeep. Every millimeter is important to me to fit this thing into the most practical parking structures. And so I really can't go light bar or anything taller than this. Now, light bars, what are the drawbacks of the light bars? They tend to be a little bit noisy. They catch a lot of wind and they make a lot of racket when you go down the highway. Spend a lot of time on the highway, so that's something that I think about. What are they really designed for? They throw a lot of light out, and a lot of times they will like illuminate your hood, cause some eye fatigue, and unless you're the lead Jeep or the lead vehicle, any dust is amplified by those things. So they are a little particular in that respect. So those are the reasons why I'm trying other options, and I feel I struck gold with this one right here. All right, so first up, let's talk about the install and the goodies that I got to go with this thing. Now, in California, you have to have, or you're supposed to have, a cover over your lights that aren't street legal. So I have these. I'm not gonna run these for a couple of reasons until, I've been pulled over before and it's usually just a warning ticket. So I'm gonna have these in the rig, but these things have a backlight feature that the Baja Designs LP family of lights, they're just a vibe. I mean, the whole thing about these lights is just so cool because they look like this. I mean, this just checks the box for me. Like, it looks like race car stuff. And then they have this cool feature, and it makes this light that's supposedly for just off-road use really rewarding in your daily use. Like when I just turn these things on and have it at night running lights, it's just makes me happy. It looks cool, and there you go. So part of that is you have practical, and then this really cool feature here. When you have your running lights on, you can actually wire it into whichever system you want. Now on the Jeep here, I just wired them into one of the running lights. So you could put them on your daytime running lights, you could just wire them whatever. Now the kit, they make it super easy where you could just wiretap these right into your fuse block here. I just went ahead and on one of the lights that should be on the fender here, I just tap right into that. So if you have a 2013 JK, it would be you would just find the light that has, it's a, what is that, a gray with a green stripe. Tap into that with the wire tap, and that's basically what I did here. So I have that here, I ran a ground, and then one wire from my fused relay on the trail rocker inside my Jeep. So that's what this plug goes to, and then this goes to across over to that light, and then this light goes under the cowl here, right through here, and just take a few seconds. This is really not difficult at all. It just takes a second to pay attention to make this wiring look good. So these wires just sneak around the cowl here, and you can see where I just have them teed off, and they go down into the battery tray here. And then what I'll do to finish this off is just put these underneath this little vacuum canister there, and that's it. Then they disappear and look great. So to get the cowl off, to be able to do this nice install, to run the wires up underneath here to come out there at the windshield, is a couple of, well, there's actually 4 T30 Torx right here. Pull those off, windshield wipers come off, and then at the center of the cowl up there, there are 2 plastic Christmas tree tabs. You pull those things up, and the cowl comes off. Makes that super easy. The bracket is just Amazon A-pillar Jeep JK mount, and I'll put all the links to everything in the description as per usual. So that's really simple. 2 Torx bolts right there, and then the light mounts right up there. Now, one of the things I was concerned about, wind noise, took it on the freeway. I can't hear anything. So wind noise is not an issue. Can't even hear them over anything else on the Jeep. So non-discernible. Now the other thing that I did, because of where you're putting this, you have to lean everything towards your favor, is I did order the Baja Designs LP4 reflector cover kits. And what that does, because the LP4s are basically a massive light shooting a ton of lumens out the front, but they also have basically 2 squadrons on both sides of this thing. So it has 200 degrees of light spread. So what I did was I put the reflector cover on the inside here to keep all of that light spill off of the hood, keep the eye fatigue down that you would normally get from a light bar over top of your hood. And so that way it just maximizes my front and side throw. And that's the other thing here to talk about is the lens that I went with. This is called the driving combo lens for the LP4s. So you have these for spot, big throw out the front, and then down here at the bottom you have the driving combo. You have this diffuse lens that will give me this nice fill out here, plus this side illumination here. And that's why I think this is just an amazing utilization of this light. It's really going to be a neat light up here on the A-pillar, and it just looks good. And with the backlight on when you're driving, having that here is just cool. I thought this would be a kind of a fun comparison. We have the freak show of lights with the XL80s on the Tahoe over here, and they put out an immense amount of light right here because I have the driving combo lens on those. And then over here, I think the champion is still the LP6s putting out massive light, but here is the clear light from the A-pillars doing an amazing job of filling in this area here. I'm going to turn the Tahoe off in a second as soon as we lose all the light, but I just thought this would be a fun comparison. I think I did pretty good on both rigs for their own setup, but this is going to be neat to show the cornering, the ditch lights that you want to see onto the sides of the Jeep. So for trail riding, that's going to be really, really helpful. But this is cool. All right, so we're gonna run the test without the headlights on, just the LP4s on the A-pillar, just to look what the pattern is. I think I have them aimed evenly at the moment. So we'll just try this for a second. Now, let's do headlights. We'll go into like we would normally run. So I have the headlights on low beam, regular driving, and the fog lights on the bumper. And so now we'll see what this pattern does. Holy mackerel, look at the fill. So that is exactly what I'm talking about, the LP4s, and having all of that light coming off of the sides here. And then I have that perfect blend of additional side view and distance and the ditch lights covered. I may fine tune that and just like have them come out depending on the trail. I have them just loose enough to where I can tweak them with a good tweak, but wow, right? Now, let's go ahead and add fun to this, and we'll put our rock lights on, and we'll put the LP6s on high right out the front. And wow, I mean, wow, right? You could actually see how cool that is. I mean, look at that. That's the LP6s on low beam, and that gives you that example of giving me that, this is a really graphic definition of the driving combo lenses. So you could see here, let's turn the LP4s off. So we have driving combo, the low beam on the LP6s, we'll go high beam. Pretty dramatic difference, right? And then we'll go with our LP4s on the A-pillar. I am absolutely stoked on this right here. This is looking fantastic. I can't wait to get in the dirt with these things. Well, there you go. Pretty good option for the A-pillar on the Jeep, wouldn't you say? Hits the target perfectly, wouldn't you think? See what I did there? Thank you guys so much for watching. The goal for me now is to get this thing in the dirt. I'm dying to get out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your drive. Whew, my retinas are hurting. Those are even on low beam.